How do lonely people get friends? Step 1. Find extrovert. Step 2. Latch onto extrovert. Step 3. Extrovert will inevitably adopt you. Just make sure the extrovert actually likes you and has similar interests. Don't just latch onto the first extrovert you see and become friends. Bait other lonely people with internet comments based on their interests. Check every day to check the bait and add to it as needed. Snag the food of a potential friend in trap. Take home. You now have a friend. Feed and water. Usually there's one person that you can find that's an extrovert that if they like you will allow you to make more friends. I find this especially helpful with girls, as becoming friends with one girl usually leads to a group of them, at least if you allow it to. Get among a group of people who are enjoying a common activity. Having things in common is the best chance of making friends, and doing things in common is a way to achieve that. I moved to a new city a year ago and I still have 0 friends. I joined a gym that does group fitness and know a lot of people, lots of new Facebook friends, but no one who actually wants to make plans. I joined a volleyball league but it ended up being people way older than me. My coworkers are all way older and have families, etc. I volunteered at a charity event and even tried to mingle but nothing came of it. I feel like I've tried so much and just can't seem to find actual friends. Okay, so step 1, become vegan. Step 2, tell everyone you see you're vegan. Step 3, repeat until you meet another vegan. Step 4, talk with this person about nothing but veganism and you have +1 friend. Every sane person will avoid you but you have a friend. Guys, he's not wrong. Ask what their favorite block in Minecraft is. I've played a lot of Minecraft over the years and I don't think I've ever considered the possibility of having a favorite block. Sometimes they're approached by outgoing or extroverted people and they end up connecting. Sometimes they'll make the first move, or the circumstances and situations out in a public setting will get them friends through simple conversations. First of all, be comfortable with being friends with yourself. You have to be able to live your life happily by yourself, do what you enjoy, try new things, smile, and be able to find your own company something that makes you happy. Then while you live life, doing things, trying things, make sure you seem open to other people and approachable, smiling, posture, eye contacts, etc. Also strike conversation. It's not weird to overthink that simple as hi, what's the worst that will happen, they'll walk away. If talking hard, make sure what I said about being approachable is key. Most likely if you meet someone doing something you enjoy or just doing regularly, they will also be interested and may have similar interest. So if a conversation happens, make sure it's not too forward and uncomfortable, but also make it so it doesn't seem like a passing conversation but more of a meaningful one. Really just be happy with yourself and create good vibe around you and don't fear others. Have a nice day and hope you smile. Get a dog. The dog can be your friend. You can then go to places where dog walkers go and talk to other people with dogs. If the people don't want your company, it does not matter because you have a dog. If you want a friend, feed any animal. It's funny because this also works with humans. False. I just went out at 2 a.m. to find someone to feed. I got half an egg rolled down a homeless person's throat before he started thrashing around. He did not give me his number. By looking for community groups in their area that have similar hobbies and joining them. X. Like running, look for a running club. There's always one around. This one. That way you don't really need to talk to people as you do stuff with them. I have a couple friends I know from car meets. We can all tell you more about each other's cars than about each other. I smoked people out. I don't as much anymore because I cultivated the few people I did smoke out, usually between sets at some music scene. Go to what you like. Honestly, they attract a variety. There is always someone else living out louder while putting their shit on Front Street. So how ridiculous could you be if there is always someone going one step further? The confidence grew over time, but I'd still get antsy on around new people, but anxiety is the shadow of excitement. So I remember what the novelty of being new to someone is and recall the feeling. Also, people love to talk about and explain themselves, so ask thoughtful questions. Being an active listener. Some people have no skill either, so work on situational awareness and gauge their ability. Sometimes you must lead. I see a lot of comments here that are like just put yourself out there, which is fine and all. I'm not that socially awkward and have a lot of acquaintances. But how do you get past the small talk phase to make long-lasting and deep friendships? Whenever I open up about myself, it usually isn't reciprocated, or I feel like I'm being emo and burdening someone, or I feel like I'm prodding other people to open up about themselves when they don't want to. Libraries often have free painting classes or other programs you can take. I've seen elderly people who are trying to learn how to be more computer literate bond with each other over that. Heck, one class one assisted in practically turned into a game of Pokemon with grandkids once they learned how to send and save pictures to their relatives. It was quite heartwarming to watch. My only friends I have are the ones that have been here from the start. All my friends I have made in the past year are normally gone in a month. Hardest thing I ever did was walk up to a stranger in a nightclub, sit beside them, and start talking to them, but that one act changed my life, and led to so many wonderful things. Being once the same person as you. I'll say this. Get yourself out into as many different situations as you possibly can, walking and jogging groups. Join a squash, sailing, kite flying, tennis or book club. Volunteer for a soup kitchen or your library or local museum, whatever floats your boat on Saturday mornings. Take a Friday night job in hospitality instant friend group. Start driving an Uber so you can get used to the idea of random chatting. Another instant way to meet people: get or borrow a dog, and go for walks in the park. Sit on a bench for a while. Guaranteed someone will join you on that bench and start chatting. It's good practice to put yourself at ease in a casual social situation. If you find the words sticking in your throat, think about the person you really are in your head, and let some of that goodness out. It gets easier and easier the more you practice. Also, ask questions. It shows you're interested and people will respond to the genuineness. When you've done some chatting, ask if the person wants to catch up for a coffee outside of the usual meeting place, or see a movie you've both been talking about, or meet up for a drink on Friday night at your local bar. Not all of the people you meet will stick. Some you'll wish you never started talking to. Some will hurt your feelings and ignore you or even be rude and dismissive to you. But the ones who do stick, it's a game changer. I'm retirement age, and I wish I knew the answer to this. I'm an Aspie as well, and it just complicates the hell out of things. I texted someone today, asking if I could text them tonight to chat. I know they got it. They check their phone constantly for new texts. They just never replied, which hurts. Hurts a lot. I think I just don't understand friendship. I don't feel close to anyone, and don't feel loved by anyone at all, anywhere in this life. Just decide someone is your friend and then follow them around and leave them little gifts and messages. Don't let them know you're doing this for a while though. You want to build up a relationship with them before you reveal to them that you have already been friends for a while but they just didn't know it. You could even film and photograph them so once you reveal yourself you'll have proof that you cared about the relationship for a long time. By not, under any circumstance, admit or show you're lonely. It's hard. Loneliness is like a deep stench you can't get off that's only remedied by the very thing it repulses. Okay, as someone who is very introverted and has moved a lot but typically manages to find friends, I'm gonna add to this and hopefully someone else sees it, but there's an important difference. Don't be lonely, which in practice can be hard, but thankfully can be reduced to 2 steps. And the first one involves doing stuff you'd really like to do anyways. The first lesson: be comfortable with yourself. This is the hard part. There's no specific way to do this, but it all boils down to the same thing. Enjoy yourself. As in, your own company. Best way I've found is just do activities that really don't require other people to enjoy. I like to ski, and as much as I enjoy going with friends, at the same time it's really nice when you can wake up when you feel like it, hit all the runs you want, and have a good relaxing break when you want to with no group consensus. But this can apply to any activity, and skiing was definitely not the first one I did this with. When you learn to enjoy activities for the sake of the activity and not just as a means for hanging out with people, makes a world of difference. You'll really start to enjoy your own company. Step 2. This is the easiest part, but feels the hardest. Take one moment. Put yourself out there. All it takes. Ask someone to hang out. Not a general "hey, wanna grab a beer sometime?" No. That's non-committal. Doesn't put you out there. Turn it into, hey, I'm free on Wednesday night. You want to hang out? Yeah. It sucks to make a commitment. And sometimes people will say no. But the nice thing is once they reject you, that's it. Done. They won't think much about you again. Don't get caught up thinking about them. Really have to commit to step 1 correctly first though. If you say, hey, I'm going to here to do this on Wednesday. Want to join? It makes a big difference if you know you'll do it anyways because you'll enjoy it alone too. Versus if you seem like you're just doing it as an excuse to hang out with someone. You don't. You just collect a whole bunch of hobbies and activities that keep you busy.